Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anna Koval, and I am both a full-time teacher and the owner of a small language school in St Petersburg. I'm also interested in neuro-teaching. It has contributed a lot to my report today. Actually, the idea to develop our own warmers came from the neuro-teaching course that I took a year ago. The lesson there starts with so-called getting organized stage, when students take out their books, stationery, and check they have everything they need for the class. I think it's vital for the teacher to have a so-called set the tone for the class stage, to get students moving and engaged emotionally. And today I'm going to talk about some engaging warm-up activities that help to accomplish this, as well as to create emotionally safe learning space right from the start.
Хотите постоянно развиваться в преподавании иностранных языков? Школа Дмитрия Никитина проводит образовательные тренинги, конференции и курсы для преподавателей. Подробности о событиях можно узнать по ссылке в описании.
I'd like to start with a case. We've got student A and student B, very real types of students. One is ready to jump in any activity, and the other is tough cookie. So my question is, what do you think is the purpose of a warm-up activity for each type of student? You can now pause the video and have around 1 minute to think over it, note down your ideas, and then check. If we look at student A characteristics, we'd better go with the warmers that help the student to talk freely, understanding the purpose of the talk. These students need to be intrigued, surprised, and have a way or even a choice to express their feelings, express themselves, to come down and to focus on the lesson. As for student B, he's not very willing to talk. And as a rule, you will never know why. So I'd better go here with some activities that allow the student to choose a way to talk silently, working or maybe drawing or writing something on a mini board, or audibly. It's about creating an emotionally friendly space to help the student to express his feelings, and this way to release stress and anxiety that he may have come to the class with. It's also about finding the right words to describe his feelings. And finally, it's about facilitating teacher-student interaction. So if you have had similar ideas, bravo. You deserve some applause. Great you are. Here we come to the purpose of a warmer in the classroom. Why is it there? First of all, it's an opening ritual. It's a routine that you can start your class with, and it establishes the sense of order, stability, and the sense of security, of course, that is essential in creating psychologically safe learning space. Secondly, it's a your choice activity. I first came across this type of activity, this type of exercise in Choices students book, and I really like this idea. If a student is allowed to choose, he's simply interested, and for him it makes a difference. His choice makes a difference to a habitual start, of the lesson that was mentioned in the previous slide. And it's about, trying something new in the learning process. It also gives a space to use imagination, to develop creative and critical thinking skills. The third point here is personalization. I see a warm-up activity as a personalized task. And I'd like to repeat the words in the quote on the screen. Personalization involves tailoring language practice and input around our students' own lived experience. And it's in fact a deep well of things to share in the classroom. Our role as teachers, I believe, is to give our students a safe way to do it in the classroom. The last, but not the least, a warmer is to create emotionally safe space, learning space, right from the start of the lesson. Students might come to class after a long day at school, or may be stressed having had an argument or an incident at school or at home. And here it's not about breaking the ice or getting our students in a good mood. It's more about creating a mindful learning space for them in a physical classroom or online. In such caring and helping environment, students are open to share and understand what they are feeling, and they are able to release stress in a safe way and thus develop emotional intelligence. In our school, we've got progress books and learning journals for our students. And there is a page there that is called My Choice to Start English Class. You can see how it looks like. And these are not all the activities that we are using actually in the classroom, because we are adding new ones throughout the year, for our students to try. I'd like to share today some of these ingenious warmers, and I'll try to explain the purpose and give you some practical applications. And we start with warm-ups to distress and reduce anxiety. And laughter yoga is the first one here, and it's my personal favorite. I see it as a perfect tool to feel more energetic and healthy, as well as to unwind. It combines laughter exercises with yoga breathing techniques and some, mindfulness meditation. There is actually a lot of information about this type of yoga online, and different gurus suggesting the best techniques. I really like Laughter Yoga Together YouTube channel that I'd like to share with you. There you may find 5-minute sessions, quick lift series, laughter meditations, laughter yoga songs, and so on. certainly it's better if you learn it first and then show it to your students, because this way you can create eye contact to bond with each student in the group, and it's really important in this activity. So I'd like to try one of the laughter yoga exercises with you today. So this technique is called peace palms, and it's a quick lift activity to help you get some focused energy. It combines movement exercise with laughter yoga. It's called peace palms. So clap, 2 fists together, clap, and you show this 2 fingers, okay? You also say ho, ho, ha, ha while doing these movements, and trying to breathe in and breathe out, and then you speed up. Okay, so let's try. Ho, ho, ha, ha. 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 Ho, ho, ha. So, and you generally end this activity with laughter. It seems difficult, to laugh this way, but in fact you can develop it through trainings and some playful activities, gestures, and mimes. It's believed that voluntary laughter provides the same physiological and psychological benefits as spontaneous laughter, so it's worth trying.
Хотите постоянно развиваться в преподавании иностранных языков? Школа Дмитрия Никитина проводит образовательные тренинги, конференции и курсы для преподавателей. Подробности о событиях можно узнать по ссылке в описании.
The next activity is a dance and movement therapy technique. It's a type of therapy that uses movement and dance as non-verbal ways to communicate. In fact, it is a rocket science, but we may try to use some simple techniques in the classroom. One of them is called metaphors. It's when a student creates his own images or symbols of what he's feeling at the moment, or maybe what he's coming through in his life, and he transfers it into movements and then connects to music. Through the movements, it's possible that he expresses anger, fear, anxiety, and, other emotions, as well as happiness. Why not? Consequently, it improves emotional and physical well-being and release stress, as it's a way to uncover some hidden feelings. How does it happen in the classroom? You may see in the video. It's from our Chinese class, which the teacher started with dance and movement therapy technique. So let's watch.
Мы пытаться отразить наше эмоциональное состояние через наши действия, через песенки. Соответственно, вы выбираете ваши любимые песенки, которые могут отразить ваше настроение, то настроение, с которым вы пришли на урок. И, соответственно, двигаетесь так, как вы чувствуете себя. Не какие-то там заранее запланированные, продуманные движения, как вы себя чувствуете. Понятно?
Ха.
Ха. Ха. Ха.
piano or violin?
Ha.
Of course, girls felt, shy a bit because we were making a video, but they managed to try this technique. Okay.
Пытаться отразить наше эмоциональное состояние через...
This is the way it works. Warm-ups to share news. Here we start with share a photo from mobile activity, warmer. And in fact, it is very simple to use. It catches with its simplicity. A student just has to bring his mobile to class, then choose a photo or a video from his mobile. Video is what they like the most. And then the student tells a story behind it, sharing sharing news on maybe what he's been up to recently. This activity is a great way to use grammar structures in a real context and develop fluency. Other students in a group benefit too, listening to the student and maybe asking some questions to learn more. Hence, it facilitates student-student interaction and contributes to a group positive dynamics in the classroom. The members of the group then feel more comfortable sharing their ideas and having a constructive dialogue. The next warmer is a gratitude jar. Expressing gratitude can be a fun activity, and it's easy to make. It looks like a jar with notes of gratitude inside. So we start a class taking a note of gratitude from the jar and answer a question like, what are you proud of today? What are you grateful for today? Who can you say thank you to today and why? It's a great mindfulness exercise that help our students to express appreciation and focus on positive moments and little things that bring happiness. However, sometimes it seems difficult to express gratitude if you are feeling pissed off or angry about something. Listening to my students, I've recently come up with the idea of a jar that is opposite to gratitude jar. I call it drama queen jar. And students focus on things that they don't find pleasant and that they would like to complain about. And it's a safe way to express worries, to get something off your mind, and to get ready for the class. Some questions that you may write on the pieces of paper and put inside drama queen jar. Complain about a friend that you've recently had an argument with, or what was the most boring thing that you have done today? I shouted, it's unfair when blah, blah, blah happened. Like when my teacher said something, maybe my friend or my parents did something. Another one is, I really need a hug today because blah, blah, blah happened. The next warmer I'd like to share with you is, what am I today? It's a creative activity that visualizes a student's state at the moment and simplifies the way to share news. It's a reflection technique, but I use it not at the end of the class, but at the start. Notice the what word in the question. It's not who am I today, but what. And it can be anything, an animal, a thing, a color, actually any part of the speech. Students come up with the ideas using creative thinking, critical thinking techniques, because there is no right answer. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find a funny picture online to give my students visual support and to make them give, more details about their states. It's really fun, as you can see in the photos, and students feel better and more focused on what is going on in the classroom. Here's the pair of students. It was June, and the classes we had online. And the girl was on holiday in the south of the country, so she was melting, sunbathing under the sun. And so she said she was a cheese ball. So that's the picture I found. And the boy was somewhere in the countryside, fighting with mosquitoes or something like that. So he said he was a mosquito. I don't know why in this lesson. And the next bunch of activities is warm-ups to talk about feelings. Here I'd like to share 3 activities to cultivate emotional intelligence in children. I think that the first step is to make students feel comfortable talking openly about what they feel. There are different students and we all are different. I'm sure that today someone is feeling blue. Someone maybe is feeling over the moon. Okay, and there are definitely those of you who can't describe their feelings in words, or maybe those who don't want to talk about their feelings, right? So, and we have to give our students the way to talk openly about what they're feeling. And Emoji Mood is an activity where we use printed emojis or any other pictures of feelings. Again, it's simple to make. I like the idea of composing the emotions on your own. There are different didactic materials and sets for it you can find on the internet. So a student chooses a printed emoji and talks about what he or she is feeling at the moment, and thus share news at some point, okay, to explain why. Sometimes we use mobile phones and share emojis on WhatsApp, in our chats. It's also the way to do this activity. Why not? Mood scale. It's an alternative to emojis. And I'm sure that you've seen some examples on the internet. Sometimes they are with animation, sometimes without. I personally adore it and often customize my own ones. In the photo, you can see the example of the one that I made for a festive class devoted to a pancake day this year. So student students have to choose how they are feeling on a mood scale of pancakes, right? Had to choose. Generally, there is a question. How are you feeling on a mood scale of pineapples? How are you feeling on a mood scale of cats? And here, the pancakes. It takes, in fact, little time to create, and it's simple and fun to use. And glass of emotions, an activity, a warm-up to talk about feelings. It's also the one that I learned on neuro course. It's best for students like student B, in our case. Those students that either need some silent time to get distracted from school, or those who have difficulties in describing what they feel. So there is a glass that we fill with emotions. So a teacher draws a glass on a mini board or on a piece of paper, then give these glasses to students, and the students fill them with colors or maybe words that describe feelings. For less confident students, we've got visual support on the board with the colors and the emotions, the corresponding feelings, corresponding emotions written below. So after the students are ready with their glasses, they explain the colors chosen, they name the feelings, and they share some user game. In this activity, there is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong answer, right? So it develops associative thinking skills, abstract thinking, and soft skills, of course, like critical thinking. I believe that also facilitates teacher-student interaction because we don't push. You can draw, you can write, and you can do it. As a student, you can do it.
Хотите постоянно развиваться в преподавании иностранных языков? Школа Дмитрия Никитина проводит образовательные тренинги, конференции и курсы для преподавателей. Подробности о событиях можно узнать по ссылке в описании.
It's important to mention that the way that I sorted these warmers, it's not the only possible way to use them in the classroom, in your classroom. You know your students better. You know what changes you can make to make it better maybe for them. I purposely didn't mention if it's better to use this warmer online or offline. What age of students it's better to do it with. So I think it's some food for thought for you. The main goal is simply to let your students feel free and safe to choose a way to express their feelings and share news in the classroom. And here I've come to the end of my talk. I really hope that my teaching ideas will come in handy for you. And let's keep in touch. Here are my contacts, the creative community on VK, where I share some creative stuff for English teachers and also some techniques, neuro-teaching techniques and methods. We'll be glad to see you there. And thank you.